So we're right across the street from the Portland Schnitzer Hall at this closed down Broadway theater. We're on Burnside between Salmon and another street. And this theater's been closed for a long time, and there's some interesting stuff in here. So we're up here. That's definitely a sign, like an Orpheum Theater sign, yeah.
That is so cool.
And then music theater? Wait.
You don't think that was from the music box, was it?
Oh no, yeah, it says music box at the bottom.
Oh my god.
Below the word music.
Because that kind of looks like down in the theater.
Yeah.
Like it's part of it.
Yeah, and then there's a staircase right
like
down here.
Projector or light thing too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a stairway, and then you've got those on each side, and then you probably would go through there.
Yeah.
And then there's just this up here. Just walking through Portland, there's friggin' holes, and like we're going to like these spots where like these theaters were. Because this was the Liberty one, the Orpheum one, and then there's just the music box. Now at the intersection of Taylor and Broadway, because there used to be a theater called the Haley Show House here. So it was at this intersection. This here is Fox Tower, contemporary movie theater, and a bunch of other stuff. But this was the location of the original Fox Theater that stood in Portland. Here's a place you may recognize from one of my other videos, the Guild Theater. It's looking a lot more open than it did the last time I was here. The last time I was here, I could just barely peer inside and see the gutted out interior, but it looks like they're doing a lot to fix this up, which is positive, and it's actually associated with this building here, which is known as the studio building. I think this used to be part of the theater, and then they changed it, and it became just this part was the actual theater. This is pretty much how it looked when I was able to. And from the Guild Theater back that way, we're only going like 2 blocks east to where the next theater on our list was, which is kind of nice because we're right by Pioneer Courthouse Square. This is where it says the Capitol Theater was. Yeah, and it was kind of a small one, so this might be the same building. I mean, if you look like at the structure, like along the side. I'm not sure exactly.
1904.
Now, you see this big open spot right here?
Yeah.
This is, according to my research,
Yes.
this is where the Baker Theater was,
Really?
which was built in 1910. It said it was on the southwest corner of 11th and Morrison, which is where we're at right now. Search of the People's Theater, the theater for the people. We're in search of the People's Theater, the theater for the people. Now, it said it was on 9th near Alder. Now this is 9th and Alder right here. So for all we know, the People's Theater could have been right over here.
Where? Like
This
where the
lot
food
here?
comes?
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing here.
Possibly.
Because these have obviously been here for a long time. In all likelihood, the People's Theater, which ultimately became the... What the hell did it become? Oh, it became the Alder Theater. So it was either here or it was in this lot.
Yeah, I
because these buildings and this building are just too old.
Yeah.
And you know, since these these theaters were mostly built like 1910s, 1920s, they were still around usually till like, the 60s and whatnot. So these buildings, other buildings would have been too established. So my bet is over here.
Okay.
That it was over here.
Good guess.
So this one's going to be another, it was at this intersection, but I don't know where exactly it was. The Pantages Theater in Portland, which was a very well respected theater, was here at this intersection of Broadway and Alder. Now again, I'm not sure where it was, but my site suggests this. This looks newer than this building, and this building. So,
And it's right by the Charles Burke building.
yeah.
Initial field? Yeah.
So, alright, so I don't know what the heck all they're building here, but according to my calculations, this is 4th and Washington, and we're supposed to be just south of 4th and Washington, which was the location of, God damn, I keep forgetting what the names are. The Circle Theater. And see, this is actually one, now I don't know if it's still here, but apparently they put an emblem in the ground to like mark where the theater was. Now of course it could be gone by now, but they said it was on 4th, south of Washington, and that there was like, they put it in the concrete, which makes me think it may be gone because they obviously, they repaved over time. My bet is that the theater was over here, because this obviously isn't old
I
at
think
all
this
over
is
here. Yeah.
And this is of course
It
a
had to
parking
have been over
garage,
here.
so
Yeah. We are headed now towards the intersection of Park and Washington, so like just 2 blocks up here. We're going right back towards the Imperial, the old Imperial Hotel. Here's Park right through here, and it was at the northeast corner of Park, which is literally right here. This is where the Majestic Theater was.
Really?
Yeah. You know what Adam the Woo named his drone?
What?
The Majestic. Alright, so we're approaching 6th and Washington, and we're going to be taking a right up here because that's where the Columbia Theater was located, which also apparently had one of the big signs that hung out. It probably hung across 6th Avenue. Yeah. And it says it was on 6th between Stark and Washington, and since this is Stark and Washington, it was, I mean, it could have been on either side, but I'm pretty sure it was on this side.
And this building's really recent over here, so you can use that.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure at one point there was probably like 2 or 3 buildings along the stretch between Stark down there and Washington over there. And it says it was in between the two, so it was probably right here. And the theater that started as the Columbia Theater back in the 1910s later was named the Century Theater in 1947, and like pretty much all these theaters on this stretch, it was torn down. However, another little interesting side note, before they built the Columbia, again presumably here, there was actually a small Nickelodeon theater in this place, because apparently like all up and down these roads, there was like a bunch of little Nickelodeon theaters, and then these big movie palaces came in and totally upstaged them. So from the Columbia, which was right here, we're literally going one block this direction. So we're now only a block from where the Majestic was, because only a block down is where the National Theater was at Park and Stark. That rhymes. Shut up. And the National ultimately became the Rivoli Theater, I think that's how you pronounce it. And then it was a Pix Theater at one time. It actually became the Pix for like 6 years and then went back to being the Rivoli again. They just couldn't decide on a name. Yeah, this is kind of where all these streets kind of mush together. But anyway, this is the intersection of Stark and Park. And I'm led to believe if the theater was right here, that means it was literally back to back with the Majestic. So it may have been here, but I'm more inclined to think it was here where this is, because this kind of little park space up here hasn't been here too long. I mean, it may have been this, but I don't think it was this building. And the only place it couldn't have been is this, because this building's been here since like 1909. But we had the Majestic one block that way. Somewhere at this intersection, we had another theater, and literally you turn and go this way, we're coming to Broadway and Stark. This is where another theater was. This is where the Liberty Theater was located at this intersection. It was also known as Orpheum Theater, which that's actually where one of the signs we found was the Orpheum. Now, as we approach the intersection, I'm most inclined to believe that it was here, because again, this is new. We are now approaching the intersection right here of 11th and Washington, where there were actually two theaters located. There was the Globe and then the Blue Mouse. Now, we got the beautiful Telegraph building here, so obviously it wasn't there. And now again, I'm just guessing, but I'm pretty sure one of them may have been where this parking lot is. I'm pretty sure.
Like the Globe?
Yeah, I think the Globe was kind of a smaller theater, and since this is kind of a small space, and this looks very much like there may have been a building against it, like there's no windows here. This may have been where the Globe was. It may have been across the street there, but I'm pretty certain the Blue Mouse was right here, because this is like, you know, it's almost half a block. Now walking along Burnside, heading towards actually the general vicinity of where the Star Theater is and where the Roseland is across the street. Pre-1930, there were two small theaters located around 3rd and 4th Street along Burnside, and They were both torn down in 1930 because the city decided to expand Broadway and make it a big road. And because of that, they had to cut the front off a lot of buildings, but any smaller buildings just got demolished. So we're standing across the street from the Star Theater, which is that little thing down there directly under that traffic light, where pre-1930 there were two small theaters along the stretch of